Hello folks, thanks for watching. So obviously I usually do my lease deals of the month video, and because of this semiconductor crisis that's going on and the shortage and delays and things, I think it's worthwhile now from now on, certainly for the foreseeable future, to add a once a month video of these in-stock deals. In stock can mean that it's either physically in stock, like landed stock, so it could possibly be delivered to you within a week or 2 weeks. Sometimes it means that they've got stock reserved and sort of guaranteed and it's on the way. So maybe it's going to take a month or two. But the important thing is it's not a factory order, like the car's been built and assigned to a particular finance company or car dealer or whoever it is. So these deals are all those. So on none of these are going to be factory orders. So you should be able to get these cars relatively quickly. Fingers crossed. These in-stock deals do go quickly, so if you see something here you really like, I would suggest you act on it quickly. I am using Lease Loco for this just simply because I get really good videos from it at the moment, and the information's all readily to hand. And as always, I'm doing the 3 months up front, 3 years, and 10,000 miles a year to do the pricing. A lot of people ask me why I do it that way, and it's simply because I think it's the most popular lease combination in the UK. Obviously you can change mileage up or down, you can change the term up or down, change the deposit up or down, and it will all affect the end price. But hopefully if we're always looking at it the same way, it gives us a really good idea of when a deal's good or bad. Or guys, please, before we go any further, please give the video a thumbs up. I haven't had enough of them in recent videos, and it means Google doesn't promote them as much as I'd like them to, and it means YouTube doesn't promote them as much as I'd like to. So please give it a thumbs up. It is massively appreciated. And of course, if you've watched a few of my videos and you haven't subscribed, do that as well. I'm also in the background here, you can see I'm on my website. I'm on the support our channel page, and you can do lots of wonderful things on here, like you can buy me a coffee, you can sign up to Readly for your free trial, Netflix and magazines. You can go and have a go on BOTB and have a go at winning a car. I never have, but it doesn't stop me trying every once in a while. You buy a Haynes manual, there's a link to Amazon. All these things help the channel. So please, if you'd like to help the channel in any way, consider doing one of those. Thanks very much. Enjoy the content. So we've got a few different cars here. We've got VWs, we've got Skoda, we've got Fords, we've got Citroen, we've got Lexus, you name it, we've got them. I'm going through these in no particular order, and we're just going to sort of rattle through a little bit on these because there are a lot of cars to go through. Okay, so we might as well start off with this one as it's on the screen. It's the VW Golf Estate. It's the 1.4 ETSI, 150 horsepower R-Line DSG. Petrol automatic, 1.5 litre engine, 8.7 seconds to 60. This is the same engine in running gear basically as I had in that A3 Saloon that I had sort of recently. 48.7 mpg, 50 litre fuel tank, and a boot space of 611 litres. That is vast. That's a really, really good size estate boot. So on this one, you're looking at £1,207 up front and then £336 a month over 3 years with 10,000 miles. Price-wise, it's sort of there or thereabouts to where it has been, but of course, it's actually in stock, which means you might actually be able to get your hands on it. Right, next we're going on to this this car's cousin, I guess. It's the Skoda Octavia estate. This one, again, is the 1.5 TSI, but it's a manual, front-wheel drive, SE trim, so it's like, you know, fairly low down on the old spec level. 8.5 seconds to 60, 150 horsepower, combined MPG of 55.4, and 640 litre boot, so it's an even bigger boot than the other one. Talked about Skodas many a time on this channel, but they're very competitive with the other cars within the VW group. They're not the budget cars people sort of believe them to be quite often. So £1,089 up front on this one and 243 quid a month. That's a great big car for that much money a month. It really is. There or thereabouts, you know, it's a bit higher now than it was in May, but what's not, I suppose, for in-stock vehicles, that's a really, really good price. Right, Ford, we're going to look at the Focus. So this one, actually, I've looked, it's actually Carl Parison that are coming up. So I recently did an interview with Matt, the GM at Carl Parison, and there'll be a link to that up there. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out, because it's a good half an hour or so, sort of chat about the leasing and the market and the industry, and hopefully some of you will find it interesting. But Matt mentioned this in the video that they've managed to secure some Focus stock. It's actually landed stock, which means they've got access to it now, so you could possibly get your hands on one of these within a couple of weeks or something. £1,042 up front, 269 a month, and 10 seconds to 60, 125 horsepower, and combined MPG of 53. And then 273 litre boot space. I always think Focus, they should just push it to at least 300 litres, just so it's sort of a bit more competitive with some of the rivals. But it's a decent sized boot, to be fair. It's perfectly fine for most people. They're brilliant cars to drive. I love a Focus, brilliant cars to drive. So this one, price-wise, is there or thereabouts. It's been cheaper, it's been more expensive, not drastically so in either direction, to be fair. So just over £1,000 up front, 269 quid a month. Not a bad one. Next one's a Ford Puma. And again, just over £1,000 up front, 267 a month. And these are funky little cars, aren't they? And they're increasingly popular. One of my work colleagues has just had one of these delivered and is enjoying life with that. So this one's 8.9 seconds to 60, 155 horsepower. Combined MPG of 50.4, 42 litre fuel tank. So it's not a massive fuel tank, but 456 litres of boot space. Again, price-wise, it's just probably where it should be. It's sort of bang in between the highest and lowest points it's been at in the last year. So it appears to be a decent price. Right, next we are looking at the Citroen C5. 815 up front, 271 a month. That's not bad. I mean, the highest it's been was like 350. It was briefly down at 211, which was a stonking deal. But it's been floating around 250 lion's share of the year. But when stock's difficult to come by, pricing can do whatever it wants. But this is still a reasonably competitive deal in my eyes. So this one, you're looking at 11.4 to 60 and 131 horsepower. No fuel consumption figures on this one, which is annoying. Boot space, 720 litres. That's epic. That's a huge, gargantuan boot. 53 litre fuel tank. And I think they're reasonably well screwed together. French cars get a battering, don't they? Certainly in the pub chat. I think the reality of a French car these days is very different to what we used to see, particularly with a new one, if you've got it for the first 3 years under warranty. Right, we'll go to another French one. It's the DS3. So this one's 817 up front and 272 a month. And it's a really good price. So that was up at 563 at one point. And then it's been floating around the sort of 260, 270 mark for quite some time now. But it's a good price and a great little car and really good value for money at that sort of price. 131 horsepower, 9.2 seconds to 60, to 62, sorry. 57.6 mpg, 350 litre boot space. So it's going to be a rival for your Focus and your Astra and that kind of thing, for people that maybe want something a bit different. And it certainly is a bit different. It's a bit of a Marmite design, but you can't say they're not interesting because they really are. You know, it's just a more interesting car to look at. Love it or hate it. I'm not sure which one of those it is for me at the moment, but it's a great price. E88 gearbox, which is a German automatic gearbox. People have had real problems with some of the French automatics in not too distant times, but these E88 boxes are actually really, really good. So you can rest assured with that. Right, moving on. DS7. So it's another DS car. Again, it's got the E88 gearbox, the 1.5 diesel, this one. Front wheel drive. 131 horsepower, 10.7 seconds. 555 litre of boot space, 55 litre fuel tank. No fuel consumption figures again, but they'll be good. Yeah, these were up at 700 quid at one point, and they've sort of yo-yoed a little bit around about this sort of 4 to 450 mark. Currently, this one's 1,100 up front and £374 a month. That's exceptional value on that car. That's really, really good value, and especially for a car that's in stock, as I say. Right, so we're heading over to Korea now. Again, in that chat with Matt, he was saying that some of the Korean companies have actually been better and less affected by this semiconductor issue than some of the European brands, simply because some of them make the parts themselves, make the semiconductors themselves. Hyundai are one of the ones he mentioned. So it's the Hyundai Tucson 1.6 TGDI Ultimate petrol manual, front wheel drive, and these are really cool looking cars, I think. I think that's got some real presence to it, and it really stands out of the pack over some of the sort of bigger name alternatives, if you like. I think it's a really cool piece of design. From brands like Hyundai and Kia, we're starting to see now a real switch in design where they're being a bit bolder rather than previously they would try and, I don't know, I always felt they were trying to make something that looked like something else. And now they're trying to make their own cars with a bit more of a unique design. And I think they're doing that really well. We are looking at 10.3 seconds to 62, 150 horsepower. As I said, front wheel drive, 1.6 petrol, 620 litres of boot space and 54 litre fuel tank. And that's quite a tempting package. 1,100 quid up front, 318 quid a month. Brilliant. Next, the Ioniq 5. Right, so there are only 2 companies advertising this, so that means there aren't too many of these cars knocking around, and these things are massively popular. So if you want one of these, I think I've mentioned it in some other videos where these have appeared, you just need to jump on it because they will go very, very quickly. 1,779 up front and 513 a month. 217 horsepower, 7.4 seconds. Obviously full EV, rear wheel drive, combined range of 300 miles and 527 litres of boot space. A couple of people, when I've mentioned Ioniqs, have said they're too small, and that means they've never seen one in the flesh, because the Ioniq 5 is a huge car. It really is big. I mean, it's the size, internally, it's the size of a really good size SUV. Somehow they've managed to make it look like a hatchback, but it's really not. It's sort of a low slung SUV in terms of its size, in my personal opinion. But I just think they're fantastic cars. Amazing design. I mean, who would have expected Hyundai to come out with something that looked like that? Not me, that's for one. The Kia EV6, obviously more or less the same car. That's a beautiful looking car as well, but we're not seeing any deals on those at the moment. Right, next we go over to Japan. It's Lexus. It's the UX300E. This is featured on quite a few of my videos lately because the deals are phenomenal on them. So these were 800 quid a month, then floated around the sort of £600, £700, £750 mark, and then suddenly they've come down. 1,500 up front, 433 a month. And this is a brilliant price and a fantastic value car. It's a full EV, 190 miles of range. Hasn't got the longest range in the world, which might put some people off, I guess. But front wheel drive, full EV, 204 horsepower, 7.5 to 62. And you've got 486 litres of boot space. Exceptionally well built, rugged, sort of high-end Toyota that you expect it to be. Very nice cars, very cool styling, and you could do a lot worse than one of those. So yeah, 1,499 up front, 433 a month. Bosh, done. Right, I'm hoping Toyota are going to lend me one of these. I'm waiting to hear back from them at the moment, but this is the Toyota Highlander. This is a very expensive car. The Highlander range starts at 50 something grand, and you can spend 70 grand on one of these. And it's really designed to be a premium SUV to compete with some of the big German cars, I guess. 3 rows of seats, as you can see. Then you fold the back ones down, and I mean, when you fold all the seats down, you've basically got a van. Toyota cars now all come in with CarPlay and Android Auto, which one of the big faults with them in the past was their infotainment system was so lacking compared to some of the rivals. So this one's 1,856 up front and then 552 a month. And they were 938 very briefly. And then we've been looking round about the same price. I mean, they've been sort of 30 quid more than this a month for quite a period of time, and they've just dropped down in the last month or so. So on these, we're looking at, it's that petrol electric hybrid. So it's not a plug-in hybrid. It's the same as a Prius, where it's just generating itself. You don't need to plug it in or do anything with it. 2.5 litre petrol engine mated to that electric running gear. 248 horsepower, 8.3 seconds to 60, 39.8 combined mpg, 65 litre fuel tank and 631 litres of boot space. So it's still got a really good sized boot, even though it's got that battery technology chucked in there, and a 65 litre fuel tank. It's kind of the best of everything, that one. You've got plenty of room. You've got the battery power, which means that 2.5 litre petrol engine's not costing you as much as it probably should. 4-wheel drive, really nice, big, spacious vehicle with a bit of road presence. I mean, it sort of does it all, doesn't it? If you like the big, spacious vehicles with road presence, we've got a couple of Mercedes now. This one's the C-Class Estate, and it's the C300DE Late Night Edition Premium. Late Night Edition. 5-door 9G Tronic, which is their automatic gearbox, and it's a diesel plug-in hybrid. There aren't too many companies that have done the diesel plug-in hybrids, but Mercedes did and do. So automatic rear-wheel drive, and you've got the 2-litre diesel engine combined with the electric running gear, but of course you plug it in as well. So you can run it on pure EV power, and for a claimed 33 miles, it's probably more like 25. And then you've got the diesel engine there as well. So 315 litres of boot space. So that boot space is massively eaten into by the fact it's got the batteries there. So what you find is the boot floor is a bit higher. You don't have anything underneath the boot, and you're losing a fair amount of boot space because of that. Which is why I mentioned on, say, that Highlander, how it still had really good boot space. 50 litre fuel tank, which is not bad on a plug-in hybrid. And 5.7 seconds to 62. That'll be using the diesel engine and the electric motor combined to give you that like massive burst of power, 306 horsepower. So there we go. I mean, a classic design, the C-Class Estate. And finally, we've got the Tesla Model 3, and it's the long range. This deal again, Matt mentioned from Carparison in that chat. Actually, they're top on this one, look. So Matt mentioned they managed to secure some of these. Obviously, not many of the brokers have. There's only 3 advertising it. So it's the Model 3 long range, and they've got these arriving soon. But these deals will go rapidly with all the brokers because it's still, I mean, it's still the most popular car, I think, most popular new car in Europe. Combined claim range of 360 miles. Obviously, I had one of these recently. You're never going to get 360 miles out of it unless you're completely hypermiling. But it's probably more like late 200s, probably like 280, somewhere around that you're going to get from it, as long as you don't drive it like a complete hoon, like I did. 0 to 62 in 4.2 seconds, 351 brake horsepower, 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, obviously, and 542 litres of boot space. The boot space in it was really surprising to me. It's got really good size boot at the rear, which you expect, but the front trunk, that space you've got where the engine would normally be in an internal combustion engine car, was massively usable. Like, I got 2 really good sized rucksacks in there and a coat, and my wallet, which is obviously absolutely packed with money, and it just swallowed it all up. And I know there've been questions about Tesla build quality and stuff in the past, but I promise you I didn't see it on that car at all. Panel gaps were perfect, everything was really well screwed together inside, and I didn't have any strange rattles or anything coming from anywhere, and everything nicely damped, and it did feel very good to me. So yeah, I mean, I know why they're the most popular car in Europe now, but with that comes deals that disappear as quickly as they appear. So yeah, if you're interested in one of these, get onto it as soon as possible. Obviously, I've just gone through those really quickly because I've looked at a lot of cars there, and I don't go into quite so much detail as I do with my normal lease deals of the month videos. But hopefully you've found this one useful. But if you've watched this video and maybe some of my other videos and you haven't subscribed yet, it's time you did so. So please do that. I've just opened up an account with Instagram as well, because I've been sadly lacking on the Instagram front. That's NotAGuru Gym. So please go and follow me on there, and please give the video a thumbs up. I know I sort of more or less beg for you to give the video a thumbs up, but it makes such a massive difference when I don't get the thumbs up. So just take 2 seconds and do it for me. Thank you. Go and check this video out next. YouTube thinks you're going to like it. See you next time.